Hi guys, welcome back.
Today, I wanted to talk about meltdowns, tantrums, whatever you want to call them. I prefer to call them meltdowns, an autistic meltdown, because I find tantrum a bit of an unfair word. I associate a tantrum with Naya, my 2-year-old, who screams and shouts when she doesn't get what she wants. But a meltdown for an autistic person is a lot more complex, and I guess I just wanted to talk a little bit about sometimes why meltdowns happen, how to look out for the signs, and what to do when they're in the middle of a meltdown. When he was first diagnosed, I thought that he was just having a normal 2-year-old tantrum, and sometimes he was. Sometimes he didn't get what he wanted, and therefore he would kick off and have a regular 2-year-old tantrum. And then I started noticing a bit more of a pattern. He was a lot more anxious and a lot more upset and a lot harder to calm down if he was in the middle of a meltdown. And in the beginning, I did not handle them very well at all. So I started to watch Dylan, and I started to watch out for the telltale signs when he was either becoming too overstimulated, maybe a change of routine, maybe we were in a place that was too hot, too smelly. It could be smelly as in perfumes, could be a number of different reasons, and you will know your own child's kind of triggers. As I got to know him better, because we do, we're given these babies, we don't know them, we have to get to know our children. And it's the same growing up, we're continuing to learn about them. We got to a point where if I saw Dylan becoming overstimulated, I would take him out of that situation, either take him out to nature, give him a nice warm bath. I had my toolbox of things that I would use to calm him down before he got to that point of no return, if you like. I knew it was coming. Every 6 weeks we would have one of these meltdowns, and it usually came around Christmas time, end of half term. Anything that was a change in routine, I knew that he had to get out this frustration. Worst case scenario, you're outside with your other children and your child decides to have a meltdown. They're on the floor, they're hitting their head on the ground, and everyone's looking at you, thinking your child A is naughty or you're a bad mother. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, you've been there? Yes, of course you have, because we all have. So, number one thing to do, ignore everyone else around you. Really, really now. I know you think it's easier said than done, and so many times I've yelled at people saying, please just stop looking at my son. And you can say to people, do you mind not looking? I'm sorry, my son's autistic. Don't be afraid to protect your child in that moment. Number two, get your child to a safe space. For Dylan, it was a corner. If I was out, it was under my coat, a car, at home, maybe it's their bedroom. Make sure they can't hurt themselves. Just let them ride through it. The storm will pass, it'll calm down again. And the next day, the day will be brighter. If your child is older than 6, maybe they're a bigger child and you feel like you can't hold them, if you're out, just sit down beside them and try and protect them. So obviously if they hit their heads, try and hold their head as tight to your body as possible. I have been known to even lie on Dylan when we're out and about. The other thing is, there is no point trying to talk to them when they're in the middle of a meltdown. All you can do is just offer them reassuring words. Maybe say a phrase over and over. So for me, I would say, shh, it's okay, mommy's here, mommy's here, mommy's here, in the calmest voice you can. They feed off us. And I learned this the hard way, by the way. And I'm telling you this, but a couple of months ago when Dylan was having his meltdown, I totally forgot everything I learned. And I became so anxious because his meltdowns got harder to deal with. Whether your child is 2, 10, 15, an adult, I think it's really important to let them know that you're there for them, and also for you to remember this too shall pass, because I know how hard it is when you're dealing with other children or other members of your family, or judgment, or people picking holes in you, and then you're looking at your child and they're distressed and you think, how can I help them? I want to make this all go away. Well, guess what? You are helping them by just being there, by just being the presence that you are, Never tell your child off for having a meltdown. Probably my biggest tip. I'm sure a few parents might butt heads over this. Maybe one parent will say, no, they need to be disciplined for this, or they shouldn't spit on the floor, they shouldn't do that. But in that moment in time, they are totally out of control and they're scared. So the best thing we can do as parents is to just be there for them. And, I say to Dylan when he's upset, I say, I understand, Dylan. I understand, Dylan. one of my followers said to me, you know, just having someone understand them and understand what it might be like for them took off all the pressure. And so the first time I did that, and I said to Dylan, it's okay, I understand. I understand. I saw him just calm down a little bit. Recently, his meltdowns have increased, and this is for a number of reasons. For our own personal point of view, we've moved house, he's left his friends, we've changed school, COVID's happened, lockdowns happened, and he's been ill. And like I said, he's a preteen now, he keeps telling me. So he's got hormones, he's noticing he's a bit different, he's trying to figure out the world around him. And whereas before, as his mummy, I could tell him everything was going to be okay, and he would listen to that. Now he's getting a bit older, he's now kind of questioning it, like, but mummy, no, but how? But you can't fix that. He's a smart kid. Our kids are smart. Never underestimate them, that's for sure. And the first couple of meltdowns that Dylan had recently, I was on the floor crying, as was Andrew, and we were both going, what do we do here? This isn't like a meltdown he had when he was 2, 3, 4. Before, I could hold him, keep him safe, keep him close to me. Now he's bigger. If I go anywhere near him during a meltdown now, he will hit me. He will. And he will lash out, and he will spit, and he will shout. There's no point talking to him, because if I talk to him when he's in the middle of a meltdown, it's basically like this. I could be saying, I love you, you're amazing, and all he's hearing is, and so there's no point really saying anything. So the best thing that I learned was actually to say nothing at all, was just to let the storm pass. I sit in the corner of his room, and he thrashes about, and this takes a bit of practice. It's taken me 6 months to do this, so you can get there. And then when he comes out of it and he's upset, he asks me for cuddles, and I hug him, and he cries, and then he says he's sorry. You know, I think that's the hardest thing, is that when he's being frustrated and he lashes out, or he spits, or he does something that he knows is not good behavior, he's really apologetic. And, you know, I'm always telling him, it's okay, I understand, and maybe next time we shouldn't do that. If your child is verbal, I think when, you know, the time has passed and they're calmer, it is quite good to say, you know, how can I help you? You know, what do you think we should do? And so Dylan and I together are coming up with things we can do. You know, he says, oh, mummy, you don't think you should come near me if I'm angry? And I'm like, okay, do you want me to leave the room? Do you want me to stay? He's like, no, I want you to stay. And, you know, I'm so thankful that Dylan can tell me these things. And this has taken years of us building up that bond and building up that trust that, you know, I can also figure out what he wants. And I'm almost just reiterating what I know he feels. And he's very good at telling me yes or no. Obviously, you know, we're talking about, you know, one of our children having a meltdown, but I obviously have Luca and Naya. What do I do to protect them, and how do I tell them? It was really difficult when Luca was little. My number one thing is also to protect him. So again, I would look out for the signs that maybe Dylan was getting agitated. And if I feel he's getting agitated, you know, his body language would change. He would start to tense up. I could feel him getting quite twitchy. I would immediately put Luca in front of a movie or an iPad. Don't care what anyone else says. iPads and movies are bloody brilliant when you need some help. And more often than not, I'm tend to be by myself. If I'm with Andrew, or if I have other people in the house, I will say to them, listen, please take Luca out of the house. Please take Naya out of the house. I need to deal with Dylan. And more recently, the meltdowns are happening like that. There's no warning. Something will click him off and he'll just blow. And if your child is like that, that's fine. We can deal with it. Make sure your other children are safe. I always tell Luca, listen, Dylan is really finding this hard right now. Mommy needs to go and be with him. You know, Luca's 7 now, and now I'll say to him, can you please take Naya and go watch a movie? And Mummy's gonna give you big cuddles, and I'm gonna give you chocolate afterwards, but I need you to do this for me. So once I know that Luca and Naya are safe, I am in a situation where I can also help Dylan. Now, like I said, if I'm in the house by myself and Dylan's having a meltdown, and it can last sometimes for like 40 minutes to an hour, I can't obviously leave my 7 3-year-old by themselves. So I will sometimes go out of the room and I'll close the door, I'll quickly check on them, and I'll go back in again. If things are getting really bad, you know, go to your neighbor, you know, phone a friend, reach out to your community, ask someone, can they help look after the kids? Once the meltdown's finished and your child is settled, I then go to Luca and I'm saying, like, I know that was really hard for you to hear. You know, how are you feeling? You know, it's important to recognize your other children's feelings, especially if they're older, because a lot of the older children, if their younger sibling has autism, tend to hold it in quite a lot and can feel quite resentful, scared, upset, angry as well. So it's important to check in with them and see how they're feeling after an episode like that. You know, especially for us as well, if we've been looking forward to going somewhere and I've got everything planned and we go to our destination, if Dylan has a meltdown and we've got to come back again, they have to deal with those emotions. You know, like Luca gets disappointed a lot. We try and make it up with him with special days just for Luca. But it is important to check in with them, ask them how they're doing. For Naya, we keep the words very simple. You know, she's obviously younger than Dylan. You know, Dylan's a little bit sad right now, but that's okay. Let them know that that is okay, because guess what? This is their life. This is the card we've been dealt. You know, they have amazing time with Dylan. And I always tell Luca, you know, he said to me recently, he was like, I really wish I just had a brother like, you know, his friend Jody has. You know, I really wish my brother was like that. But then I'm like, yeah, but your friend's brother doesn't play with you like Dylan does he? Your other friend's brothers don't do this or don't do that, which Dylan does. And he's like, no, that's right. No, I get that. Because the other thing is, I don't want him to feel sorry for himself either, because this is his life. And we have to live life to the fullest and, you know, take everything we've been given. And no one's life is perfect. You know, all your Facebook friends who are posting photos of their perfect siblings at pumpkin patch picking pumpkins. Yeah, we're not picking pumpkins this year, but we're going to do something else that's special to us instead. And for us, we do get play therapy for Luca, which now is probably going to start soon too, because I think it's really important for your other children to talk to someone who they trust. Through play with younger children, you can really get to learn a lot more about them. And we do have an episode on play therapy, which you can check out as well. I feel like I'm plugging my own series here, but yeah, you know, we did that. For older children, you know, make sure you get special time with them. Reiterate, it is hard for that child going through it, and they don't mean to cause any harm. And, you know, talk, keep lines of communication open with your children, older and younger, and make sure everyone's okay. And check in with your partner too, you know, because quite often they're not. After I've dealt with a meltdown, I tend to shut down a little bit. I think where we were 6 months ago was in a pretty bad space. Where I am now, I feel like I'm better equipped to deal with it. When he turns around to me and says, Mummy, thank you for understanding. Thank you for just being there. You know, I know that I'm doing a good job. And if your child doesn't say that to you, they're thinking it, they're feeling it, and you're doing a great job. And I think also it helps to know that we're all going through this, you know? All our children are different, of course, but I think the common thread through all of this, you know, is the autism, is the fact that most of us have experienced meltdowns. And it is really reassuring to know that there are other parents out there going through the same thing. And I'll be thinking of you guys next time I'm going through it. And next time you guys go through it, please think of me thinking the stuff that I'm saying. Well, do you know what I say in my head when Dylan's going through this meltdown? Just keep swimming, just keep swimming. You know, whatever mantra is going to get you through it, you know, this too shall pass, whatever it is, just be calm and try and center yourself if you can. Afterwards, cry, take a bath. I tend to fall asleep because I'm exhausted from it.
Is it cold? Is it cold? I'm just happy to stand here in the sun. I don't necessarily need to go.
When I set up this channel, I set it up to help other people. I wanted to help you guys, and I love sharing our life with you. And you're probably wondering why, or maybe you are wondering, maybe you're not, but why I don't show Dylan's meltdowns. I choose not to show these moments because A, I don't think that's going to help you, because you're dealing with your own meltdowns. The last thing you need to see is my child having a meltdown. And the other big reason, probably the biggest reason, is that I'm protecting Dylan. You know, Dylan knows that I make these videos. Hi, Dylan, I know you're watching. He knows I make these videos. He knows we do it to help other people. He is very proud of the fact that he's autistic. He's very proud of the fact he's part of this huge community. He reads all your comments. He loves reading them. He loves when someone says, oh, Dylan's amazing or whatever. He loves that. And that you know, I want to show, and I want to show the positive side of autism, because there is so many positives as well as the not so positives, but I feel it's just not necessary to show his meltdowns, and also he deserves that respect to not have that put on, you know, for the world to see. So guys, wow, that was a mouthful of an episode, but I hope you found it helpful. If you guys have any tips on how you handle meltdowns, please do comment below. I love hearing your feedback. I love hearing how you handle things. It's great for us all to share what works and what helps for us. If you're autistic, I have so many fantastic autistic followers who give me so much great advice, and we love you and thank you. Siblings, I also have a lot of siblings who have, you know, brothers or sisters who are autistic. We love hearing from you too. So please join in the conversation. Let's get chatting. Let's help each other, you know? Anyway, I think that's me done for today. Have a great day, and we'll see you next week.
Bye. See you later. Bye-bye.